Welcome back to Q Dads, guys, and yes, it's me, Ben, and the rewatch continues, and this time it's for Season 1, Episode 4. Now, the past couple of episodes I haven't been able to dive as deep into them as I wanted to, but with this one I'm giving you a lot more detail and the events that set up for the future episodes to come. And again, don't worry guys if you're not into our rewatches and you're just waiting for Season 3 to kick off, because we've got you covered. I've been working on a few little videos and I've got 3 of them upcoming where we're going to be recapping the events of some of our favourite characters throughout Foundation. And first I'll be starting with the Cleon's journey, and that way at least you'll be caught up with everything you need to know about them before Season 3. And again, remember there are no book spoilers here, we only cover things from a TV show perspective only. So hit that subscribe button and let's dive straight in. So this episode starts with Dawn jumping out of a building in an attempt to end his own life. This of course was a failed suicide attempt, and he is stopped by his protective aura, which is just amazing to see such intricate detail on this, and it's later described by Day that this is kinetic energy that stops the shield from being breached. So slow movements are the way forward. Although I would argue that some of it is controlled either by DNA or the mind, because not all movements are naturally slow. Dawn then begins forming a secret relationship with Azura, a palace gardener who witnesses his vulnerability as he jumps off that building. And then as we move to the other versions of Empire, we then get an in-depth conversation between them as they talk about the Zephyrs, who are high-ranking religious leaders within the Luminist faith, one of the major religions within the Galactic Empire. The Empire wants to ensure that the next Proxima will support the Cleonic rule, which is under increasing pressure as Harry Seldon predicted the decline that is now resonating across the galaxy. Now, whilst we're on the topic of the new Proximas and the Zephyrs, let's just dive a little bit deeper into that. So currently there are 2 candidates in line to become the next Proxima. Zephyr Halima, who is a reformist and believes that the soul cannot be cloned, criticising the Empire's clone dynasty. So obviously she is a challenge to the Cleon's legitimacy and ultimately pisses Day off. And then on the other hand we have Zephyr Gilat, which is a more conservative and Empire-aligned candidate who supports the status quo and is favourited by the Cleons. Now we cut back then to Sal and the Grand Huntress, where Sal is taken prisoner by the Ancrians, led by Farah. Now the Ancrians claim to be scavengers looking for some navigation tech, but Sal quickly suspects something more strategic. So as Sal leads them through the city, it's worth mentioning here that the gate is confirmed to be DNA based, meaning that if the DNA is not in their database, it isn't getting in. But then that does raise questions around gun blasts and not being able to penetrate, so we have to assume it still acts as a normal shield too. But interestingly though, that means at some point she has got close to a Bishop's Claw to obtain that DNA, because a Bishop's Claw was able to walk straight through the shield, based on the footprints that we saw. Sal quickly takes Farah to the vault, which leads to the surrounding null field, and of course this disables Farah, which then confirms that she is lying about her purpose. So Sal does interrogate her and learns that Farah is actually the Grand Huntress, which of course we all knew from the bow, but it was nice to have it confirmed early on. Now the Ancrians plan on using Foundation's advanced technology to launch an attack, hoping to provoke the response from the Empire. And I must remind you here that they are looking for some navigation tech, which ultimately leads them to the legendary Invictus, a world-destroying ship. But that's a little bit later down the line. Now, Sal also has mysterious visions of a young boy in the Imperial Library, indicating that she may be connected to something larger in Seldon's plan. And which does make me think that her strong connection to the Vault, which is somewhat her mentalic powers that we see, especially in this episode with the prediction and the probability of the coin toss, which was incredible. Now, is this going to lead her coming back to Season 3 somehow? Whether she manifests herself in the Radiant or in Gale's mind, I'm not quite sure, but I just don't think that we've saw the last of Sal. And also, the young boy in the Imperial Library, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that little boy was Raish. Now, because we have just skipped over a few details of the Empire, let's get back to them. So Dawn enlists Shadow Master Obrick to keep tabs on Azura, but in doing so, gains some feelings towards her. Now, there's a couple of scenes where Dawn gives away some of his weaknesses too, like when he has a conversation with Azura about the Wolf's Breath plant. She says that it's the plant with the reddish tinge, and obviously he's colourblind, so he doesn't know which one that is, and asks her to point it out. And then at some point in the episode, when Dawn, Day and Dusk all go out for a meal, Day looks at him in a very intriguing way, as it seems that he's concentrating too hard to drink from his right hand rather than just naturally using his left. Then, moving back, Day of course gets really ticked off for the fact that there's more growing pressure within the Galactic Empire, and then even questions some of these mathematicians, and just by screaming at them, one of them dies, which is probably fair to say that Empire would have killed them anyway at some point, but it was just intense to see. This of course all leads to Day fearing that Empire's weakening grip and overrides Dusk's plan, and he decides to attend the conclave himself, believing that only his presence can prevent Halamar's rise. Now this does break traditional protocol, as Demoiselle mentions that a primary Cleon has not left Trantor in over 400 years since Cleon I. So could this shift in power cause a bit of unbalance going forward? Obviously, we know the answer to that, but still. Then of course we end the episode with Sal preparing for an Ancrian siege on Terminus. We also get Day departing for his religious summit. We then get a quick glimpse right at the very end of Gale's suspended pod, which is about to be picked up by a mysterious ship. And that's it, guys. So actually, I thought this was a very interesting episode, and I wanted to give you a little bit more detail than I usually do, and hopefully mirror that moving forward. But I am getting more and more excited as I come to the halfway point and know what is upcoming, like some of the things that I've mentioned already, including the death of Dawn and this attack on Terminus. Now, as always, guys, it's not about me, it's about you guys at home too. So what did you think when you first watched episode 4? Have I said anything that jogged the memories and gives you probably a better understanding of something for season 3? But that's what this rewatch is all about, gearing up for that third epic season. And of course, as I mentioned at the start, I do have something special coming your way. I've put a lot of time into these 3 episodes, giving us the journey of some of our favourite characters. And the first is hitting on Saturday, and it's going to be the journey of the Cleons. And basically, it's going to be a recap about their overall journey from season 1 to season 2, what they've been through, and again, some of my favourite scenes. But hopefully, it gets you a little bit caught up, ready for season 3. So don't forget, hit me up in the comments as always, guys, and yes, I will catch you next time with something new.